I think I technically got it right this morning. There we are. All three of us are on the screen, and as usual, words are not coming out of my mouth right this morning, so I apologize for that. It's Boogie with the Bull. Wednesday morning caffeine. We're live on my Facebook profile as usual, and we're live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and anywhere else that you might share us watching or tell me you want us to be, and I'll podcast it up and put it there. With me today are Randy Rhodes and William Lockett, the man who never smiles. and he's so serious.
All the time.
And a lot of things on the table, and anything that comes on the table we can discuss too. So we're watching the chat rooms this morning, and if you say something, we'll do something.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Let me start out with a short video. I'm sure William and Dave had to grow up watching this program, as did I and millions of other people. So are we ready? Here we go.
Time. What am I? Who am I? What will I be? Where am I going? And what will I see? Searching my mind for some truths to reveal. What thoughts are fantasy? What memories real?
Now ask me why I played that.
Okay, wait a minute. For the lawyers, we have to say that is copyrighted words and probably copyrighted music, and we did not have permission to share it. But under the laws of fair use, we played it.
Grabbed it from YouTube. It has to be free.
We played
We
it.
didn't make a dime from it so they can fuck
we
up.
Played it. We didn't make a dime off of it, and we used it the way it was supposed to be used. It's very tough. It's very tough, but.
So now ask me why I played that.
That's the world that you live in, and then they tell you that it's still a copyright violation anyway. So now the game has changed, and I tried that. But anyway, I'm not going to dwell on it. We can go.
Okay, so ask me why I played it.
Why did you play it?
He died.
He died. Well, then that's a very good reason for playing it, because
Buck Rogers.
I don't think he would come after us if he was still alive, and B, I don't think he'd even know that we did it unless Facebook bashed 500 other complaints that people did it and sent it to him, because from what I've been told now is they send out batches of 500 complaints to one person. And
that's convenient.
And as another one, as one of the copyright managers told me, they're so busy with what they have to go after that they have to pick and choose the ones out of the 500 that they go for. And when they finally dropped mine, they said, if you're not going to cooperate with us, then we can't do it. And I said, I'm not going to cooperate with you because I have to prove what I did so that you can prosecute me. And in the United States of America, that's not the way it goes. It's you have to prove that I did something wrong so that you can prosecute me. And the guy actually hung up at that point.
So anyways, he died from a rare and viciously aggressive form of cancer. His wife is telling TMZ and Newsweek that from the moment that Buck Rogers or Will Gerard knew something was wrong, he was dead. That's how fast it took him.
Well,
Did he get the jab?
It actually can be. Well, that
I
could
don't
have helped. That could have helped with it. You're right, William. But if he got it
The
and he
whole
knew
cancer shit,
and-
maybe? I don't know.
got it and he knew that he couldn't undo it, there was nothing he could do to undo it. Perhaps his prayers were answered and God called him home. My father knew that he had it, but fortunately he had something else that his pain receptors and all were not basically not there, and he did finally pass from it, but he knew he was going to pass from it anyway.
Right.
So now the problem that I have is that, like you started to bring up, William, is that people on several sides say that either the sea is man-made and comes to you somehow, and maybe it is going to take you out. And that scares me because the way the world is right now, you got to look at wondering whether or not you're going to get it one day or somehow, and whether you're going to go because somebody wants to be greedy and wants more than they have, or someone who doesn't have wants your piece. And I guess I'm trying to say is that I'm the kind of guy that if you come up to me and tell me that you really need the shirt on my back, I'll take it off my back and give it to you. Why? Because I got other shirts. And when I run out of shirts, I guess it'll be.
You ain't got no more shirts.
Well, that's the way that people will dress, because I'll be jealous of everybody who has shirts, and I'm going to go on the broadcast and try to make it okay to not wear a shirt. What?
Normalize toplessness.
Okay. Well, I'm a crazy guy. I'm a crazy guy anyway. It takes a minute or two or more for the caffeine to hit my brain every time we get together, and some reasoning whether or not it's flawed, or flawed as a lot of people might say, starts to come through. Like this morning, I read a post where someone who I didn't even know was my friend, but I must have been because I saw the post. I mean, I don't remember friending her, so was upset at what Trump said. So her comments were basically anyone who is okay with that should unfriend her now. And my big paragraph response was no. Basically, it came down to, if you want to unfriend me, go ahead and unfriend me. I didn't agree with Rob Reiner's politics before he was murdered, but I don't believe that he deserved to be murdered.
Right.
But sometimes then you run across people that say the way you die, in some cases, is relevant to God. God decides how you die.
You decide how you die normally.
Yeah, well, if that's true, then I haven't died yet, and I hope I decided that I would be 120 years old when I die. But I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. It is what it is. It's Boogie.
I know health and longevity have a lot to do with lifestyle choices and what we do with ourselves and yada yada. And I'm like, well, I'm cool with that. I thought I was going to die at 25. As far as that text goes that Trump said, I don't know. I think that it's kind of fucking, I don't know, tasteless. I'll call Trump out on his shit, and he's been doing a lot of shit lately.
Well,
But at the same time, freedom of speech. Guy can say what he wants on his own
Right.
platform. You don't like it,
Right.
unfollow the fucking guy.
Yeah.
Stop listening to what he says. Turn off the news that reports on him all the fucking time. I guarantee it'll change your life.
Right. Politics seems to be a game that people play it the way that they want, with their own self-imposed rules on everybody else.
Right.
If you make rules that, if you tell people you made a rule that no, you can't talk bad about anybody else, that kind of
then you're probably fucking crazy.
Yeah, because I was going to say it invites people who are going to be fucking crazy to come to you.
Facts.
It's not like it was in the old days where you put up rules in your group or wherever else, and which basically said everybody needs to be kind to each other. It's like, I don't care if you want to say something or anybody wants to say something on a Boogie with the Bull. I just need you to be kind to everybody that's on the broadcast with you before you say it.
Well, and hopefully the audience in some fashion. You don't want to just run people off for the sake of running them off.
Yeah. Well, Jerry Michaels was actually on one time. We had Barry Nolan, I think is his last name, who at the time, and still might be, was somehow an officer or involved with the Democrat Party of Massachusetts. And all Barry did from the time Barry came on was yell over everybody. It didn't matter what you said. He just yelled. And Jerry said, you got to kick him off. Or people, the panel's going to leave because we can't do what we're here to do. And I
nobody can get a word in edgewise. It's not a conversation. It's just a fucking rant.
Yeah. So I finally said, Barry, I'm sorry, I got to do this, and hit the button, and his parachute opened, and he was gone. Will he probably come on again and have an opportunity? I doubt it.
But are you sure his parachute fully opened up before he jumped off the plane?
No, his parachute. Well, actually, what happened was the floor underneath him opened up, and he fell into the shark tank.
Oh, okay, okay.
And I'm sure Kevin O'Leary took care of him personally.
Yeah. So here's something weird, guys. How many of us here order food from the DoorDash or some type of delivery service?
I sure as fuck don't.
No, the Ring doorbell caught the guy dumping.
No, I don't know about that one.
Bag. Yeah, well, I read recently.
Here's one of pepper spray.
This is what happened.
There was that one chick that did it.
Girl ordered something that was delivered by DoorDash, and via her ring doorbell or some other doorbell that is similar, recorded the driver doing this. And I'm sure there's going to be a major lawsuit, or
there should be,
or we're all just being bluffed and it was AI doing what
this one here was AI.
Not that grainy footage.
And no one's going to sue anyone. But
this one here was caught on Ring doorbell. Lady delivered the food, and before she walked away, she grabbed a bottle of pepper spray and she sprayed the food.
Yeah.
The people inside did not know that, and they ate the food and got
hella
horribly sick. Yeah. And when they looked at the camera, that's what they saw.
Yeah.
Police got involved, and the DoorDash lady was claiming to kill a spider, and they solved that real fast. And she is now spending time in jail. Yeah. And I'm sure
the one that I had read, the girl who ordered had actually watched through the camera. Her driver sprayed it
she lucked out
all over her order and then delivered it. So, if you're a Ring driver or an Uber driver, I don't care what you are, driver, and you're doing that, it's wrong, and eventually you're going to get caught. I mean,
Well, it's dangerous and it's
right,
inconsiderate
and you need some help. If you think it's okay for you to do that, you need some help. But for me, it just tells me that I don't want to order from DoorDash. But I'm sure
somebody brought food to my door, I'd probably shoot at them.
Well,
we don't have DoorDash up here.
If
you
you
anything even close to
if
that.
you use Alaska Dash or whatever,
all the non-existent things in Skagway.
I know, but if you use Skagway Dash and someone did this, you would feel the same. And the only thing I guess that just because you don't have it there now doesn't mean some crazy guy who has FedEx or spraying pepper on bags doesn't move to quiet Skagway and spray the bag.
Well, the second he sprays the bag, everybody's going to know about it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's the thing. You can't get away with anything.
When he does it, someone is going to use their rights to protect themselves and shoot the driver.
If the cops don't get him out of town first, they're really good about that.
And I don't want to harp, like I said, I don't want to harp on DoorDash to the point where people go, maybe I better stop using DoorDash.
I do.
Well, I could say that because of this proof, but I'm sure there are excellent men and women that are at DoorDash or Uber or Lyft or any of the companies. And I drove Uber for a long time.
Sucked into the gears of the machine.
I'm a good guy, right? But what I'm trying to say is that there are honest, everyday, forthright men and women that work for these companies, and they should not be penalized in the sense that if the prosecutors, if there was a case, found that this is a big pattern that needs to be dealt with and shut down DoorDash, I hope the honest men and women that didn't do it come up with another name and launch the business the same way, because everybody deserves the opportunity. Everybody legally in this country deserves the opportunity to go out and work and
absolutely
and make money
and pay your taxes like the rest of us and hate
see, I throw that back in people's faces only because everybody knows I'm on Social Security. In the state of Florida, income is not taxable. So
nice.
And in the United States of America, the federal government doesn't tax that income because it was collected as a tax.
Facts.
So,
wow. So, did you guys hear about Johnny Depp?
No. What's he doing now?
Remember how it's just a big deal about not coming back to Disney after the big hullabaloo? Well, guess what? Disney is going to pay him $300 million for the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
But are they giving him the llamas? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. But they also paid him $68 million for 7 minutes in a live-action cartoon kind of movie as well. So right. A shitload of money.
Well, that proves to me that he's worth $368 million to somebody, because it's like I was talking with someone yesterday. I have 3 non-official Trump coins, meaning that Trump didn't actually make them. Another company made them and sent them out. The reason that I have 3 is that it was a gift from someone, and they complained that it got to me late, and the thing the company did was they sent me 2 more. But you're only worth what people are willing to pay for something. It's like I said to the person, those 3 coins are priceless, but priceless only because I have no idea what anyone would pay for them. If someone said to me, I'll give you $100 for it, I might sell the other 2.
It just goes to show that when it comes to Hollywood actors, their word means nothing if you pay them enough money for it. Well, he should have stuck to his guns.
He didn't say he'd never do another movie with them. He didn't say he'd never come back and play Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
He just said he would have to do it for what was it, 100 llamas and
Yeah.
some other random shit that he
Yeah.
threw out there, and maybe that's the value that they gave him. So,
Right.
man of his word.
Yeah.
$300 million for 10 llamas? How
100 llamas, maybe.
100?
Depends.
But
I've never
but
bought a
then
fucking
again,
llama. I don't know how much they
you're
cost.
you're only worth, in that case, what someone is willing to
Exactly.
compensate you for doing whatever it is they wanted you to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I wouldn't pay Johnny $368 million to make 2 movies.
Nah.
But I understand that the name Johnny Depp has great ticket buying practices that would automatically be in line to see whatever movie he does. But yesterday I read that Taylor Swift is not going to the Super Bowl because the Kansas City Chiefs got kicked out in the playoffs. So my comment was, well, hey, I hope you give me your tickets and your accommodations, and Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. I would give them away on my podcast. Of course, I didn't hear anything from her. I didn't expect to hear anything from her. So, but I would have been surprised, actually, if she or someone there in the Swift organization read that and decided to throw a couple of tickets and accommodations for someone who.
Oh, okay. Here it is. So what happened was Depp's wife accused him of all kinds of shit, right?
Right.
And Disney dropped him because of that.
Right.
Like that has anything.
Because he got his bed shit on. What way to go?
Yeah, but when I'm not going to go into politics, but when you consider what Disney is doing now, that is nothing. What Depp is accused of is nothing to what Disney's doing to the future of children. But anyways, he said that so they dropped him, and he had a hard time bouncing back, getting good paying movies because of the false accusations.
Well,
but he was asked, would he ever go back to working for Disney? He replies, even if they offered him $300 million on 1 million alpacas, he would not come back to him.
Well, okay, so he.
So maybe they offered him 1,000,001, Randy.
Yeah, so he. But I'm just saying they counter offered his $300 million or his $1 million plus.
They satisfied whatever
llamas
agreement he wanted
by saying we can't get the llamas, and we don't want to include the llamas in the deal.
Yes.
Alpacas in the deal. We will give you $368 million instead, and that's exactly what they did. So he's back making movies for them. But that, like I said, is Hollywood, and people do that all the time.
It's what happens.
The woke say that they're going to form their own production companies and studios and only work with the woke. The unwoke say the same thing, and Mel Gibson and his partners continue to make a lot of money, while I'm sure that Tom Hanks and his partners probably don't. And we don't want to talk about Tom anyway, because all I know is that he moved out of the United States and went to Greece, I think, and didn't.
Okay.
Didn't.
Didn't 1 million. So 1 million alpacas. They come at $25,000 each. Okay, so it'd be $25 billion.
Well, okay, but they probably have
a shitload of money.
They probably have the $25 billion to spend, or the payment terms to pay him to pay whoever $25 billion for the llamas, or alpacas. But I'm sure they're not going to. A bean counter and a lawyer said you can't put alpacas in that deal because you have no idea what he's going to do with them, and
I don't think
you don't want to be responsible for what he does with them.
I don't think they're going to pay him the alpacas, but he did agree to $300 million because he needs money. Apparently, he's hurting since the whole thing with the court system.
Well,
So, anyways, Russia. Let's just change subjects.
okay.
So, Russia is amassing on the border with Ukraine 360,000 new soldiers. It's got Zelensky sweating because Zelensky ain't got that kind of manpower anymore. And I guess Putin's using that as leverage. Say, hey, look, just bring this war to an end, or I'm going to bring my 360,000 fresh soldiers into the action.
But why can't?
And Zelensky's going to say, go right ahead. We have the U.S. backing us up and sending us all these munitions, and we have NATO covering us, and we will fuck you up.
That may be trouble for Zelensky to say that, because according to President Trump, Zelensky hasn't read the peace agreement and or agreed to it, which may result in the U.S. saying, hey, if you're not going to play war our way, we're just going to go somewhere else and play war.
There's lots of places.
There's lots of places to play. Well, yeah, you're right that they won't say it, because there must be a reason that we want to be in Ukraine.
Exactly.
Okay, it may
and
be.
It's got to be more than just fucking poking at Russia. I don't know what it is, but
I heard that it would be perfect for a NATO base, but the funny thing is, NATO doesn't want them.
I heard
and the people that are
25
the people that are in NATO have said, no, you can never join NATO. And then Trump said, not only can you not join NATO, you can't join the European Union. And I don't know how that is enforced unless he declares war on all of them. But
the one thing that Trump is offering on the plate is, even though he won't let Ukraine into NATO, he'll guarantee Ukraine Article 5 protection under NATO's
but what happens in 2028 when he's not the president anymore, and the president then doesn't want to do that? Which I'm sure is probably not going to happen, because again, we're in Ukraine
like we have been.
Right, but then again, it may not change, even if it's a president that doesn't want to continue taking care of Ukraine, because obviously, like I just said, Ukraine must be something that we want, and we're going to protect that area if we get access to it.
See, that's one reason why. That's one reason why I have been, toying with the idea that maybe our form of politics, our government, is flawed. You get someone like Trump, okay, and he's back on track. He's got a lot of stuff already accomplished. He's got the oil pipes open. He's got the southern border shut down. Blah 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 blah. And in 4 years, should the Republicans lose the election, and more likely we will. Okay, I hate to say it, but it's like playing dice on a casino
Republicans
board.
haven't gone back to back for a while.
Correct, and you get the Democrats in there now. They can, unless the law was passed, they can undo everything that the former president does. Like you're saying here, if they don't want to help Ukraine, don't have to. They'll more likely they'll reopen up the southern border. They'll stop the oil again. Blah blah blah. They'll undo everything that Trump has done. Well, that's why I think our form of politics, our government, is flawed.
I don't understand why we get involved other than defending oil that we have, because everyone seems to agree that God gave us enough oil to last for 500 years, and then taught us to understand that in that 500 years, the earth will have produced another 500 years of oil. And if that's true, then why the hell do we need anybody else, or to be involved in oil for everybody else? Because we can't use all that oil. So we have oil, in theory, we have oil to share with everybody else who needs it. And share is a hidden word in the sense that, we have to sell it to you, We have to sell it to you. We
Well,
might
it's a
give
trade.
you some and sell you some because we've got to make money too. And that's what everybody else does.
Money or promises. I
Yeah.
think we deal in both.
Yeah. You know, now when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, she sold our piece of uranium-1, I guess, understanding that we didn't deserve to have a piece or greed of money, or both.
Probably just seeing it as useless. Something that didn't really do anything, so she sold it.
I don't think it's done. I don't think it did anything in the long run because now, President Trump claims he can call you on the phone and put a red dot on your head, and you're either going to agree to what you're told, or you're gonna cease to exist.
Yugoslavia, right? It's where we're at now, surrounding Maduro.
Maduro is Venezuela.
Venezuela. That's one of those countries. Anyways, so Venezuela is now totally surrounded, and we haven't gone to the next step. And one thing that he did, Trump did up on, is to, I guess there's some oil tankers trying to get out of ports, and Trump has them blocked in so that tankers can't leave port to take the oil to where they have to go, and they get paid.
So we've annexed Venezuela. Awesome.
I heard we actually seized one.
We did.
I didn't hear any more, but I heard that we had actually seized.
And then Iran seized one. So it's different.
If we do it, they're going to see that they can probably do it. And then the next thing, the Somali pirates are going to see that they can do it. And if they do it and they have money to run Somalia, then maybe that's where the Somalis should go, or some of the Somalis should go. They're not all bad. Just like I say Muslims, they're not all bad. It's, unfortunately, we have to sift out the good ones from the bad ones. And that appears to be what ICE is trying to do. And they may make mistakes along the way, but, not everybody is bad just because there's something that you associate with being bad. But what do you think, William? You look like you're perplexed.
I think sifting people is a bad thing.
What?
I just meant sift out the good from the bad.
No, I know. It's just the entire concept of having to sift through people is a really delicate process.
But we're in a weird position. If it's this thing about Ilhan Omar now is that she claims that she came with her father when she was 17, almost 18, and
that's illegal.
Well, no, it's not illegal. The problem is that under a Freedom of Information Act, I guess, people asked to see the proof on her father, and the National Record Center has no record of him ever coming to the United States or ever applying for what she claims he applied for. So now, does that get all kicked around in the press by everybody trying to defend it? Or do we just look at it and say, if you're not a citizen, you can't be a representative? So, do we kick her out of do we confirm it and kick her out of the House?
Yes.
Okay, but do we
retroactively do that kind of thing?
Do we deport her to Somalia or put her in a United States prison for breaking the law for a very long time and then send her to Somalia or what? And then, like William said, she's dealt with a lot of legislation while she has been there. Is it all illegal? It's like we said with Biden. If Biden,
I guess we'll find out with this auto pen thing.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry.
If Biden wasn't legally elected president, for those who believe that he was not legally elected president, and they prove it beyond the shadow of a doubt, it could have results that could be devastating for this country. Same thing with President Obama. If he wasn't born in Hawaii and he came in, and other people say one way and other people say other things, but if the truth, the actual factual comes out, we're in trouble. And it's not necessarily just that we have to start over again the way we were, the way we should be. It's if we've been infiltrated by all of this bad, how gullible were we?
Well, you got to just take your eye off the ball. Somebody will step in and do something stupid.
And
as much as these Democrats do illegal shit, I think she should be removed from her position. She should be placed in handcuffs. She should place crimes and then deported. But you know what? We will never see something like that because the Republicans don't have the balls to do it.
You're going to have people saying that Ted Cruz, who was not born in this country, who was born in Canada, and emigrated to the United States with his mother, I believe, and became a naturalized citizen and a senator, he can't run it anymore under the rules that John Kennedy is trying to get put through the Born in America Act. We lose everybody who wasn't in America automatically.
Okay, but then if that happens, it has to happen. If we keep saying, okay, we can't do that against the Democrats because we might lose a Republican. You'll never clean out the mess.
Who do you think is actually going to step up and fill these seats, Randy?
I'm saying
fucking angels.
I'm saying that
that's when you'll have open elections again. The woman's here illegal. Okay, her whole thing is about Somalians and Muslims, and for them, she came here illegally. She married her damn brother to get here. To get here, it's a crime. If
put her in office.
If a Republican did that, damn well they're going against the Republicans.
If she came with her father at 17 and became a naturalized citizen as a result of it, then that's not anything illegal. And she does deserve a right to serve in her new country. But if she's serving her new country in the wrong way, then yes, she does deserve to be removed. But then, like I said, there are good Democrats and there are good Republicans. Why should we lose Ted Cruz because he's done right by us, at least for everything that I can remember throughout his career, that because he was born in Canada, we could lose that. But that kind of shatters the American dream because a lot of people come to this country legally and then decide that the way they can pay it back is to
get into public service,
serve the rest of us, and they get into public service, but unfortunately it becomes politics. Donald Trump was an outsider. Yes, he probably knew it was inside of the Democrat Party all the way through until he changed to being a Republican and he ran for president. But it's, politics is just a game. I mean, I'm glad that I'm not the president because in some cases I'd call a meeting of everybody and I'd just say, what's the best solution to do for the country? What do we need? What do I need to do in the best interest of the people that elected me? Because even then, you get into that argument. Well, I didn't vote for him, so he's not my president. Bull crap. He's the president because he was elected by the people who did vote for him.
Yeah, that's not how that game works, sadly.
Not every not every American votes. I mean, I know people that are registered, but they just don't vote. They just don't want to be involved in the crap, according to them. You know. But, you know. Anyway, it's Wednesday morning's Boogie with the Bull. We are live on my profile on Facebook and on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. And the game there is that 30 days from today, Facebook will remove this because they need the room. So they only give me 30 days. And YouTube is kind enough to let it sit there forever, I guess, until there's a reason to remove it.
Until they decide to take it off.
Or they decide to take it off. If they take it off, I'm in trouble because that's where the whole history of Boogie with the Bull is. The good ones, the bad ones, the in-between ones, they're all there. So
I'm going to check on my fire real quick. I'll be right back.
okay.
Do we know what Trump's speech was last night?
I do not. I didn't feel well last night, so as soon as there was an opportunity to go to bed, I went to bed. Only because that's what I really wanted to do, I guess. I love our couch because I can fall asleep just sitting on it, but I really didn't. I really didn't feel up to staying awake last night, so I didn't. But I think that can be traced to the fact that I didn't drink much of my coffee yesterday, and by the end of the day, I will have drank all of my coffee. I'm gonna get William in trouble. He made me think that because cats didn't go through matter transfer or whatever, that I started to think he really wanted cat coffee. And I said, no, you don't want coffee made from cats, period. No.
What?
We need cats in our life. We need cats in our lives to rule us like they do. So I just kicked it in a sarcastic tone that as much as I like coffee, I couldn't drink cat coffee for that reason. That cats cats bring enjoyment to life. They bring sadness to life too, but generally they bring enjoyment and they're funny to watch. Which is
what is cat coffee?
I played on words.
Oh, okay.
He had said I think William said cats didn't go through the matter.
If Randy hadn't put the cat through the matter transmitter, you would have been able to send me a cup of coffee, but that didn't happen.
Oh, okay. All right, I missed it because I had said to William that I didn't want to send him a cup of coffee through a computer because I already killed a computer for having coffee near it. And
yes,
for shrine purposes only, it remains on the top shelf of my closet.
Okay.
Or some computer doctor convinces me that they have figured out a way to fix it. And the only way to fix it is to replace a shitload of the innards. So
might make more sense. Just get a new one.
Well, I took it to one person to have them look at it. And the only report I got back was, this is not the right power supply for it. And I said, this is the power supply that came with it. And it worked fine. It would turn on to a certain point, and then it all of a sudden wouldn't do anything else. So because I didn't know the rules that were imposed on me in throwing it away, I just kept it in the box until I find out how to fix it.
I was,
or if it can be fixed.
See, I'm at a point now where I want to treat myself to something nice because I'm always doing something for somebody else, and never really. And my wife said, "Well, you just got that third monitor, Randy." I said, "Yeah, but
So what do you want to do?
So
Basic gear.
my iPad and 2 cell phones through Comcast are paid off in full. So they said, "Well, you're eligible for an upgrade." So
Don't do it.
so I called them. I said, "Hey, so what's the deal here? What's my upgrade?" Well, you get a 13-inch iPad for $40 a month. Oh, that's not too bad. And this is a bigger screen than I'm used to. My wife heard me talking. She said, "Get off the phone. Get off the phone."
Because you'll do it. Claudette was right, because you'll do it.
Yeah, I know I would. I mean,
I love my wife very dearly, but if someone said your steering wheel is going to cost you $10 a month,
she said,
pedals
"Randy,
is going to cost
Randy,
you $10
you already have
I would've
two.
already
Why
said
do you a third one for, Randy? Why do you a third one?" Well, I said, "The bigger screen." And she
Well, you
said,
get
"Well,
rid of. Oh, okay, you recycle. You
I won't
recycle.
I'll sell
the
it.
old-
I wouldn't recycle."
Like if I had that option to get a newer iPad than the one that I had, I would have given the older one to my grandson, who to own and have and use, because I was channeling my father when I said to him, my grandson, that you really need a bigger screen, because he was trying to put his face inside the screen of his phone to play a game.
Well, I said to her, I said to both my daughter and my wife, I said, "But you're not the one sitting in front of a computer for 10 plus hours a day."
Right.
I mean, this is going to sound gross, but when I go to the bathroom, what happens? I take my iPad with me, I keep working. I go downstairs to eat. I take my iPad with, I'm still working. I
Okay.
go to bed at night. I take my iPad with, I'm still working. And it's like, a bigger screen would be a little bit easier on my eyes. You don't need it.
Reminds me of one of my favorite livery customers, who I finally asked one day about the time I was getting ready to retire. Labor is billable to your clients. He's a management consultant. I think he owns the firm. And I said, when you go to the facilities and you use your computer or your thinking, do you bill your client for that time? And he laughed as hard as he could. And then he looked at me and he said, "Of course I do, because labor is billable. I did something for the client." So I just thought,
So for now, I'll hold off and not do anything with the iPad. But I just feel that I deserve something.
I want to get another Windows 10 tablet that I have back to the point that it will charge again, without my having to be there to adjust it all the time to make sure it charges, or plugged in so that it works again when it's plugged in. And I would use that again, only because it's 11.6 inches. And I said to someone yesterday, that's a fantastic size screen, because I'm locked into an 8-inch screen, or my phone, which is, I think, 6 or 7 inches, and it makes it hard to read. But for some strange reason, lately, I don't like to sit at my desk. I like to sit on the couch. So I mean, I can move my laptop over to the couch, but I would just rather.
So William, I heard last night that you're thinking about getting your own show up and running. How close are you to doing that?
The
not very.
Two show.
Let's see, what's today? 2 weeks in a day.
2 weeks in a day away from the William Lockett show.
Yes, the Cyber Stubby show. Story time with Stubby.
Now, in 2 weeks, are you going to tell us that it's another 2 weeks, or are you actually going to start it?
No, I'm just going to shoot for it and just do it.
Oh, okay.
So what's the content?
I have no idea.
Is it something? Is it something you did before?
Ask him in 2 weeks what the content is. I bet he'll tell you exactly.
I am inspired to do many different things. However, nothing has really made me lock in and focus on it. So I don't know what it's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know that January 1st I'm gonna start making videos, and I'm gonna make minimum one video a day for the rest of my life. So yeah.
why don't you do like something like life in a small house in deep dark Alaska, or in frozen tundra Alaska. Life in a small house.
It's
And,
gonna have something to do with the testimony, yeah. My own experiences, how I've dealt with various things, depression, drug addiction, homelessness,
All
not
things.
having a job, not being able to have a job, getting your hands caught in a fucking machine and winding up one-handed, or any other disability or thing you might face in life that tries to put you in the dirt but doesn't.
inspirational kind of stuff. That'd be cool.
It would.
Yeah,
I think that hit home to a lot of people.
I hope. I mean, I ain't counting on it. I'm pretty much just doing it for a video journal of my own life, so I have something to look back on when I start forgetting everything. But
Why? I'm already there.
right?
I
If you-
forget it, but the good thing about forgetting it is that I don't remember to watch any of the ones that
Truly.
I know where they are.
If you get that bad, you better have someone around you to be able to find the video to turn on so you can watch it.
I'll just take my fans' word for it. I know I'll have one fan out there that'll do it.
You know, when I was in radio, they handed me a stack of like a ream of paper and said, "This is what you're going to do on tonight's show." And it was, oh, okay. And I, of course, I ad-libbed around it, except for the one time on the college station when I got in trouble for ad-libbing around it, only because I thought,
Caught on your hot mic.
yeah, I was caught on the hot mic. So I can tell you, having been there and done that yeah, you need to make sure that your mic is turned off. Randy needs to tell you that you need to make sure that the host has removed you from the broadcast, because he was in the green room when I inadvertently yelled at someone on the phone, and I didn't need him to hear. I didn't need anybody to hear what I was yelling about.
Fact.
That, and also the panelists, remember to turn the damn camera off when you
There's
walk
that.
away.
Well, I don't
That's
care.
what I did. I walked
don't know.
away and came back. My
Okay,
camera still
I
turned
don't know.
on.
I mean, we all make mistakes, and as I tell people, the mistakes that we make on Boogie with the Bull are probably highly entertaining to some, and it just shows that we're a bunch of humans who sit here and do this. We're not, for $300 a week, I could have AIs produce the whole show for me. All I have to do is write a paragraph each day of what I want to discuss, and it'll look like
your
me.
whole show.
It'll look like me doing my own show. And I freaked out my grandfather once because he couldn't understand why I was doing the college radio show one night, but I was at home sitting next to him at the same time. I said, I run upstairs when you're not looking, and I do my radio breaks, and then I come back down and listen to you. Only because the station that I wanted to go to work at, the real radio station, told me that you can be on midnight to 6 a.m., but you go into the production studio at 12 noon and record what you're going to say, so that at the appropriate time at midnight we play, and you never say AM or PM. You just say, hey, it's 12 noon and I'm, or hey, it's 2 o'clock and I'm, because that way people think that you're actually there.
It's that time, yeah.
And the money, but the money was worse if I played that game and came in and did that. The money went down, because then you're only really voiceover talent. You're not really.
You're an NPC, you're a puppet.
Sitting behind the microphone doing the show. So, live radio now is fun and entertaining and helps me with my coffee. And, I meet good people, William Lockett, Randy Rhodes, and I hear what they have to say when I stop talking, which usually is not very often, but
It happens occasionally.
it does happen occasionally. I actually run out of things to say every once in a while. But that's just me in a nutshell. If you start talking over me or start talking, I figure automatically it's time to stop anyway. But
I
on
just
the
figure if
radio,
somebody starts talking over me, they have something more important to say, so
Well-
I'll let them say it.
on the radio end, you learn very quickly that because it's radio and not television, you have to be ready to say something, even if you need something that's on a recording or whatever to play. You need to be able to talk because something might not always work. The record player doesn't catch it. Auto,
Yeah, you got to be able to fill the dead air.
right. Auto, our computer, as we called him, but we named him OTTO. But Auto, our computer in one station used to run everything. He told you when it was time to talk. He told you when it was time to shut up. Unfortunately, he told me to talk one time when it was time to talk, and he said everything so I could talk, but I was asleep, which is why I'm not in radio anymore. I broke the graveyard rules of radio. I fell asleep. I set an alarm. I didn't hear it go off. So,
Yep.
you know,
Oh well.
but
Like
the
you
labor
better
board
hear
said
it anyway.
the labor board did say that it's actually in your favor that it's likely to happen. So, I just tell people that I fell asleep and got fired because that's what happened. I fell asleep and got
I
fired.
just fell asleep while I was live. Actually, I was a manager of a security system, central station. The company was called Commonwealth Security, and he had two different types of services. One where the traditional, where you have your doors, your motion sensors, and glass breaking, fire, and so forth. The other one was called Sonatro.
Right.
And Sonatro used doors and motions of fire, but they also included microphones. Okay. So you could hear everything going on inside the building, plus everything going on the outside of the building. And the idea was to catch the break-in before it happened. And we had a very good track record with catching the bad guys still on the outside. But I came into work one day, and the owner was ripping the main manager apart, called me into the office, ripped my ass in a whole new hole.
Okay.
And because the
So
previous
you have
night,
two now?
what?
Nothing.
Because the previous night, there was a major break-in under my watch that should never have been missed. The audio was perfect. The guy on duty should have heard the break-in.
Okay.
And so we played back the video from the central station, and he was wearing a hat, right?
Right.
So we couldn't see his eyes.
Okay.
So upon closer looking, he was asleep. And he was using the hat to cover the fact that he was sleeping on the job. So he got fired. We made amends to the customer, and from that point forward, it was a no hat rule in the central station.
I'm guilty of being in that same situation, but if I had not been asleep, I would have heard the owner, whose voice I knew, say, I forgot my code and I got myself in. So please don't send the police. And then he rattled off his code number, and he actually called and gave us code, but I didn't answer the phone either because I was asleep. So he ended up getting charged a huge bill in police, showing up that didn't need to be there. So, I understand it too, but I did have a security guard once who said to me, "How come you sleep whenever you want while you're paid to work?" And I looked at him and I said, "Honestly, because you guys do so good doing your jobs that I don't have to be awake all of the time." I also said, I have harder work than you do. I have to get out of my car and actually do things. and or drive my car to certain places and do part of my job. And part of my job just is that way. But anyway.
I had some experience with that. Past now,
I
fucking
don't
work.
want to talk about sleep and people losing their jobs, because one of these days that means that you'll tune into a boogie with the bull and I'll be asleep.
What were you saying, William?
I actually didn't lose my job when I fell asleep at it, because I was halfway decent, and I was like, that's how we did the contracts, and I was game testing. But FIFA Street 3 put me to sleep so much, dude. Like, playing this game, when you test a video game, you don't get to play the entire thing. You get to play one little section, and so you play it and you try and break it and you try and make this happen and you try and make the game stop functioning, because that's your job. So when you get closer to the release date, you go into beta hours, which are like, he'd say, show up at 9:00 tomorrow morning, dress comfortable. So people would be showing up in PJs and slippers, because you could be there for up to 36 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, granted, you were only making $8.50 an hour, but you were there for
You
so
don't
long.
want
It
to
was
wait for
ridiculous.
36 continuous hours anyway.
Yeah. So
You
I'd
know,
be sitting there playing this game, and that would be just after lunch, and I'd be tired as hell. And next thing you know, I'd just drift off, and then somebody'd be waking me up a couple of minutes later, or however long. One day they actually let me sleep, and bro, like, the people that clean the building at night woke me up.
we had a guy in California in one of the buildings at one of the companies that we did security for, that told me very clearly, very calmly, and rationally, that he is a computer scientist, and the idea comes to him whenever it comes to him. And if he's asleep, he jumps into his car wearing his bathrobe and his pajamas and his slippers and does it. Because if he doesn't do it right then and there, somebody else is going to beat him to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to laugh when he would show up, because we had card readers for the badges and
Right.
cameras too. So we we knew it was you showing the card, and he was in his pajamas a lot. But
That's okay.
you
He
know,
was there, damn it.
I couldn't do that job anymore, because I just, I would let people in, or there'd be 900 people in that booth trying to get into the building because somebody didn't ring them
Didn't ring them.
through.
Yes.
But anyway, gentlemen, it is.
Yep. After that, I'm not gonna get going here.
It's 103, or we've been on for an hour and 3 minutes.
So we and we're
It's
doing
3
Friday.
minutes you got to worry about,
Oh,
but we throw them in at no additional charge.
There we go. There you go. We're doing this for free, folks. In case you wonder, we're all having this so much fun for free, and it's worth $1 million. But honestly, we're not going to get paid in what was that damn creature called? Azpac, whatever.
I tell people when I get paid, then you will get paid,
There you go.
because most of the time my compensation paid your compensation, because it was oftentimes things that I didn't care about being compensated for.
Yeah. Yes. Well, so tomorrow is Thursday. I am doing a broadcast.
Yep.
7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be with Matt Holmes and guests. We're going to be talking about his up and coming new book release, January 20th. He's going to provide me with a copy of Pro Bono. I'm going to read it, and then we're going to do a live broadcast about that. We're also going to take some time to talk about this book I'm still reading. It's a big book. I'm halfway through it, as you can see by the bookmark. This one here was actually what's his first book. So I read them out of order. He has a total of 6 books out right now, and this one here was this one here was his first one. It's called "The War That Never Ended: Secede Your Mind from the Modern World." It's a unique look at the United States and what the hell we did to gain the land that we have. the tricks we played.
We did everything. We did
uh,
it legit. We did it not legit. We did
Correct.
it dirty. We did it
But
clean.
you
We did it,
understand that you held the book so we couldn't see the cover.
Oh, I'm
so
sorry.
We don't know what book it is we need to read.
There you go.
I mean,
war that never ended.
I know
Seize
that's
your mind from the modern
I know
world.
that's something that we did in radio all the time. But
This book is available on Amazon for $25. But if you reach out to Matt Holmes on Facebook, he has worked a deal with me that he would reduce the cost as a promotional thing. Plus, he'll include the bookmark for free, which Jen and I had worked together to create. His new book is going to be about the Confederacy around the world. It's going to include a bunch of information. He also promises it's going to be bigger than that one. That one's huge. I can't imagine what I'm going to get in the door.
If you only want the bookmarker that you and Jen would have worked on together, and not necessarily the book, does he throw the book in for no additional charge?
If you just want the bookmark, in order for anyone to make any money off, because it costs, I paid for it in full, and she obviously did the artwork. So we're asking $3, $1 to me, $1 to her, and $1 to USPS to mail it out.
Okay.
No one makes any real profit.
No one makes it.
I just sent 60 of them to Matt Holmes. Like I said, if you want them, he wants to come to you for free.
I was
Reach out to
just
Matt.
being sarcastic.
No, you could reach out to Matthew Holmes on Facebook. I'm sure he'll probably work some. He'll send it to you for free, maybe just to pay for the cost of the stamp itself.
Like
I just sent him a friend request.
It was like I started telling Democrats that you pay $15 plus $5 shipping for a Boogie with a Bull mug.
Yeah.
Which is
so the other
or I would tell Republicans it's $20 and you get one.
There you go.
Because
what you do is you say $20 postage paid to you. Actually, you want a 15, you want a 5 for the mail of it. The other thing is that another guy saw my broadcast concerning Matthews Holmes and the books, and he reached out to me and said, "Hey, Randy," he said, "I wrote 3 books. Would you do the same thing for me to do it for Matt?" I said, "Absolutely." So this one here is the first one. Quantrill's Raid on Lawrence, Kansas, Revisited Evidence by James C. Edwards. This is a well-priced book for, I think it was like $9, like that. But it's actually a relook at the Confederates when they went into this Lawrence, Kansas. Obviously the winner of the war gets to rewrite history, and they made it sound like the Confederates went in there killing men, women, and children and burning the place to the ground. No, that wasn't what happened. And he has 2 more books along with that are sequels to this book. They're being published and made available in a week. He's going to send them to me as well. But it's just the people of the South are trying to correct the history of the South, because just like in any war, throughout history, whoever wins the war gets to wipe out the heritage of the people they went to war with. They get to rewrite everything. And the people who are there that actually were witnesses, that's what this guy here has. He has eyewitness testimony that don't get to speak up. And that's what that's all about.
All right.
So that's what's going on.
William, what books do you have to promote today? Since we moved
as if I've actually sat down and written a full
if
book.
you move to Boogie with the book club, you might as well promote a few too. Have you written a book?
I have none.
Okay.
Like 0. I have 1 manuscript that I've worked on, and I need to go back through and re-edit and finish. But that's it. And then my second one I'm starting on, but it's a while away yet.
2 weeks.
No, that's the videos.
I actually once wrote the book that will never be published because it can never be read until 100 years after I'm dead.
Oh, like Mark Twain's diary.
And then people always ask me, why did you name it that? Because everyone in the book will be dead 100 years after I wrote the book, including me, so no one could come back and claim whatever.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are some things like that where you can't do a movie or whatever until the person dies. And I think that's sad because, unless the person the movie's about, the movie has all kinds of dirt on that person, and that person doesn't want it released to deal with the dirt that that person lived or experienced. I mean, like right now, there's movies coming up about October 7th. I'm sorry. I think it's wrong in the sense that people are making money off of the tragedy of thousands of people. I don't think that should be allowed. My personal opinion for what it's worth.
Unless that money is put towards survivors and those affected.
Okay, there is that, smarty pants.
California says that Nick Reiner, who is an established screenwriter, cannot make money off of his crimes or his alleged crimes at this point. So,
right.
Like I said, the Democrats will never be brought to justice. It's not in the writings.
The problem is justice isn't there. Like justice has been dead for a fucking minute now, and nobody's addressing it.
What may happen is that he may not go to prison per se, although he could end up witness transferred to Alaska. I mean, transferred to Alaska where no one knows who he is under a different name. But anyway, it is time that we should go because I think my cup of coffee is just about gone, which means
I've gone through 3 glasses of water. So
William has drank 3 glasses of water, and I don't want to be here when he releases them.
That's why I always bring 2 cups to the show, because the one's empty and I get to start the second one. I did cut back my coffee from 8 cups to 6, so I'm sleeping a little bit better at night. So that must have been my problem.
Yes,
too much caffeine. That's well. I gotta get going, guys. It was great being here. See you on Friday. Don't be ghosts on my show. If you guys want on, it's an open show. It's gonna be about his book. So you just want to come in and talk about stuff or respond to him. That's great. If you want to be in the comment section, be in the comment section. Also, to answer your question, Dave, we got a problem between you and me and the friendship in Facebook. I can't see you.
I don't know what the problem is, but yes, you keep becoming unfriended. I don't know who is doing it. I'm not doing it. Goodbye, William. Thank you for being here. Be here Friday, 10 o'clock. But
hey, reach out to.
I don't know what's happening, and the only reason I found it the first time was that I was looking through my block list for someone else and just happened to see you there.
Reach out to your admin people. See if they're taking me off.
No. This is on my profile.
Okay.
This is on my profile.
We'll talk about that later. I would love to see your shows, but I gotta go to YouTube to watch them.
Well, that's what I want you to do because YouTube is where we're probably going to end up one of these days. Okay.
Well, that's where I'm watching them.
Yeah.
Unless I'm here.
Yeah, that works. I mean, I see both sides of the chat. I see the Facebook side and I see the YouTube side.
Yeah, you gotta see me when I go live. I have my 3 monitors. I have my 2 iPads. I got my cell phone all turned to a different page where I'm broadcasting now, and I'm like, making sure I don't miss any comments.
The broadcast. The broadcast is probably going to go to YouTube, which is where it should have been all along. And then when it's podcasted, it can be podcasted from the link, which is YouTube. Anyway, putting it on a social media network that may or may not want it is not really a concern that I want to have. But live well, prosper. We will be on Friday, and it could be a whole new world. Those of you on Facebook, thank you for watching. Those of you on YouTube, thank you for watching. Make sure if you're on the YouTube channel, Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and you are watching, that you hit the subscribe button. I know everybody tells you that they're in it for the money, and they need the money. I'm not in it for the money, but I can use the money. Live streaming through Restream costs money. Being on X costs money. Being on Rumble costs money, and it would be nice just to see it cover those expenses. Personally, I think social media should be free, and that's where we should be anyway. Where it's free, we should be. But anyway, I don't want to start on social media today. So live well, live prosperously, you and your family. Merry Christmas to those who want to believe that it is okay to say that, because it's always been okay to say that. And happy Hanukkah to those of you who believe, again, that it is right and just and well respected to say that too. Hanukkah runs from the 14th, which was last Sunday, to Monday the 22nd. So you have time. If you haven't shopped, you have time. 3 more days. So do that. And let's see, today's the 17th, so you have 8 more days before Christmas. So if you want to be on time, get out there and shop. Look for space. You won't see me driving this year because I can't drive anymore. So that would be an excellent video game for someone to put out, of driving around and trying to find a place to park after you drop your people off. In reality, it sucks anyway, especially if you're a handicapped person trying to find a handicap space, because there just aren't enough of them. So anyway, on that note, we slide up and hit this one. Double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast has come to an end. If you want to do one, all you got to do is message me and tell me about it and when you want to do it, and we'll see if we can do it. Most of the time,